The truth gift. Renee Morgan always saw herself as the heroine of her own life story. Graceful, admired, untouchable. To the world, she was the poised wife, the tasteful hostess, the woman who seemed born to brunch in tailored dresses and vintage pearls. Every detail of her life was curated to perfection. Her laughter practiced, her home immaculate, her image as crisp as her white linen napkins. But for all the stories she told herself, there was one she never dared to voice aloud: that her husband, Marcus, might one day stop believing in her fiction. That day came on her 46th birthday. It was a Sunday morning in early spring, and the trendy restaurant in Boulder buzzed with soft jazz and clinking glassware. Renee's usual circle of well-dressed brunch companions filled the table. Pilates enthusiasts with designer bags and curated woes. The champagne flowed. The conversation sparkled. Renee stood, mimosa in hand, ready to toast herself. Then the door opened. Marcus Morgan stepped inside, wearing a faded plaid shirt and an unreadable expression. He walked with quiet precision, no smile, no greeting. Just a small gift bag in his hand and a gaze fixed solely on her. Renee blinked. "Didn't expect you," she said, keeping her voice light, trained in the art of social acrobatics. "You never RSVP'd. "I brought a gift," Marcus said. His tone was calm, measured, final. The women laughed awkwardly, unsure whether to fill the silence or flee from it. Renee opened the bag, expecting a necklace, maybe a card. Instead, she found a white envelope and a pale blue sticky note with his neat, deliberate handwriting. "You were right. I didn't need proof. I needed the truth. Let's begin." Inside, a certified paternity test. Her breath caught. The second page slipped free. A birth certificate. Their son, Jordan. The word father was highlighted in yellow. Next to it, the damning absence of Marcus's name. Gasps rippled across the table. A silence fell so absolute it rang in her ears. Marcus stood, adjusted his sleeves, and looked at each woman like a judge delivering a quiet sentence. "I'll let you finish brunch." Then he walked out. No shouting, no confrontation, just revelation. Renee sat paralyzed. The document shook in her manicured hands. The frosting on her cupcake had started to melt, unnoticed. Then she saw it, a small flash drive resting at the bottom of the bag. And she knew. He had everything. The messages, calls, the hotel receipts. Marcus hadn't been ignoring the signs. He had been collecting them. The applause she'd always craved was gone. The performance was over. And the audience, already filing out of the theater. She called Marcus. Once. 8 times. Straight to voicemail. Her texts became more desperate. "I can explain. Please don't do this to Jordan. It was a mistake. He's your son in every way that matters." No reply. At 11:47 p.m., a single message arrived. "You have until Sunday to pack. Keys won't work after that." The next morning she sped home. Her heels clicked across the driveway as she jammed the key into the lock. It didn't turn. The security code had been changed. Curtains drawn. She pounded the door until her hands went numb. Through the window she saw it. A manila envelope on the table with her name written in Marcus's firm handwriting. Later she would find another flash drive. More evidence. Another letter. Marcus had stayed quiet not out of mercy, but out of strategy. The car. Leased in his name. Her credit card. Cancelled. Joint accounts. Emptied and closed. Friends. Her brunch confidants vanished like smoke. Jenna blocked her. Lydia stopped returning calls. Marcy posted a cryptic quote. "Lies eventually sink on their own." They didn't need to name her. Everyone knew. On the other side of town, Marcus stood under warm backyard lights at his sister's home, grilling chicken beside his 17-year-old son Jordan. Jordan poked at his food. "Aunt June's hot dogs taste like cardboard." Marcus chuckled softly. "She means well." Jordan studied him. "This is one of those serious talks, right?" Marcus nodded, wiping his hands on a towel. "I won't be living at the house anymore." Because of Mom. Yes. There were things we both ignored for too long. Jordan looked away. People are talking. I hear them at school. Some of them saw the photo. Marcus swallowed hard. You're not a rumor. You're not a mistake. You're my son. That's never been up for debate. Jordan blinked fast. But it's not true. Biologically. Marcus stepped closer, his voice low and steady. You're the only truth I've ever raised. Later that night, Marcus placed 2 envelopes in the floor safe, both labeled, Jordan. Open on your 18th birthday. Each contained the full report, the photos, the flash drives, and a letter. 6 pages handwritten. Not of anger but of honesty. He knew Jordan would one day need answers. And Marcus wanted to be the one who gave them. By Friday, Renee sat in a downtown Denver law office across from Claudia Hughes, a seasoned attorney with a steel gray bob and eyes that missed nothing. I've reviewed your file, Claudia said. Your ex-husband left no loopholes. He initiated divorce 6 months ago, placed the primary home in a family trust, closed all shared accounts, and removed your name from every title. Renee's breath caught. He can't do that. He already has. I gave him 20 years. And he spent the last 6 months preparing to leave. Claudia's voice didn't waver. Legally, you're entitled to your clothing, some furniture if he consents, and your personal keepsakes. Tears prickled behind Renee's sunglasses. He raised my son. Claudia didn't blink. Yes. And from what I've seen, that's the part that hurt him most. When she left the office, Renee wasn't the woman who had walked in. Her reflection still looked polished. Glossy lips, sleek bun, designer coat, but inside the foundation had cracked. That night, a courier arrived with a plain package. No return address. Inside was a notarized revocation of her rights as Marcus's emergency contact. Taped to it was a printed still from the brunch, a photo of her frozen in horror as the envelope unfolded. Across the bottom, real women don't hide. She collapsed to the floor of her hotel room, sobbing into her knees. Across town, Marcus sat alone at his workbench, filing the original copy of the letter to Jordan into a box marked, Closed Chapters. He didn't need to yell. His silence had done more damage than rage ever could. Months passed. Renee pawned her last luxury handbag for $60. Her friends didn't return. Her sister stopped replying. She worked nights as a front desk clerk at a budget hotel. Some days she forgot who she used to be. Others she remembered too well. One evening she opened her closet. The dress from the brunch still hung there, its color now faded, its meaning lost. She boxed up every item from that past life, labeled it performance, and left it by the door for donation. Not to forget, but to finally admit what it had been. When Jordan turned 18, Marcus handed him a single gift box. Inside a note. If you decide to open the envelope in the safe, I'll be here. If not, that's okay too. You'll always be my son. Jordan looked down the hall, then back at his father. He didn't open the safe. Instead, he grabbed a plate of cake and sat beside him. They watched a movie together. Quiet. Simple. Real. Later that year, Renee saw herself in a viral blog post. A story titled, The Brunch Betrayal. She had become a meme. The frozen moment immortalized. But she didn't cry. She shut the laptop, pulled on her uniform and went to work. Because eventually you stop running from the truth. You learn how to stand in it. And survive.